What's the difference between Tony Hawk and Stephen Hawking? One chooses the wheels, the other mastered them. I'll let you decide on who that means. What does this have to do with OlliOlli World? I don't know. I don't make the rules. He does. OlliOlli World is a skateboarding game released on 8/2/2022, developed by Rule 7 and published by Private Division. The game pushed out 31,000 copies, at least on Steam, and was reviewed nicely by the review gods that kinda suck at reviewing stuff. We got 9 across the board here, folks, except videogamer.com, who really did not enjoy it like the rest did. But how well does this game hold up? Is this really a 9 out of 10? No, it's not. Here's why. We have a pretty compelling story here. It involves a lot of skateboarding and not much else. But what more could you ask from a game like this? In a land where everybody skateboards, there are 5 gods that keep the radical sport alive. And we have 4 people that are gonna be our friends. We have Mike, the big dude with a bigger heart. He's slightly stupid. We have Dad. I thought he left a while ago, but he came back, so that's cool. Suze is our camera woman, and yes, this thing is alive. Chyfin, or Kyfin, is the coolest design ever. She does feel like she was made by a 16-year-old, but I still think the design looks amazing. We are in Radlandia, and these 4 are looking for a new skate wizard. You see, Chyfun here is a skate wizard, being that link between the skaters and the gods. But she's getting old. I know, you can tell, right? We are on tryouts to be the new skate wizard, and through their help, we will let her retire. Each level you go through is one step closer to the gods, and becoming the new skate wizard. And along the way, you'll learn new tricks and other things. I really like the storyline. It's not as complicated as others, but with the insanely good designs and pretty good art style, the game really looks good and tells a decent story. Before we meet the gods, let's take a look into the game that we'll be sink about 2 hours into. We start with a really in-depth character creator, with options for skin color, hair, clothes, tattoos, and much, much more. This is in line with other games, but for a smaller game, this is really good. After creating my amazing character, we head into the world. We have 5 maps, and we're going to skate through all of it, and meet every god. We have some basic tutorials that we have to endure, and god, I hate these things. Why do these games always have such basic tutorials for such basic controls? I know how to hit X, I've been doing it for years. What's this? You can skip the tutorial. 10 out of 10, baby. Our basic controls are hitting X to push, and your left stick to jump and do tricks. There are other controls, but they're all just for more points. These 2 are all you need. Now I have some notes that I wrote during my time playing, and I wrote down, bad controls feels like I can't do tricks, and buttons combine together so I can't move. This is entirely based on the fact that the last game I played was Skate 3, and after years of using the left stick to flick down and up, this game felt inferior to that title. The controls are a bit worse than the earlier games of our time, but that doesn't mean they're bad, like I stated. I think I started this game mad, and I don't know why. Like, really, why was I so mad? Either way, after playing for an hour, you became used to the mechanics, and this complaint fades away. The mechanics are really good once you get the hang of them. You can do some really cool tricks, and the further in the game, you learn how to maintain the tricks to garner a much higher score. And how do you achieve this kind of intellect and strategy? Okay, so you need to flick down, then let go, then hold left X, then flick right and up, and then hold again. So if that sounds annoying, yeah, it kind of is. The game is of course hard, that's the point. Your first playthrough is easy. You play through by just beating the levels, no need for tricks, and then you come back for the higher scores on the harder courses, if you're into that thing. I'm not, so I don't come back to levels, meaning this game is not my style, but that's not the game's fault. There are problems with these sticky controls though. After making some moves, the game will just not allow you to use certain tricks. Trying to 360 board flip and land to continue won't work. But not only won't work, but will just stop both and end your combo. And this can get very annoying very fast. But just like the controls, you get more refined the longer you play, and this complaint won't be relevant. Since your first hour is what mostly determines if you like a game, it doesn't bode well that I have these complaints. Now, you may be wondering what these points are used for. They must be important if throughout the entire game you use these tricks. No, they're not. There is no reason to gather points other than getting new cosmetics. I played the entire game. I changed my clothes once. I don't care about the way my character looks unless I am like feeling the world. And I just don't care about the story. I skipped every dialogue scene. Every single one. I just don't care about Dad talking about something like his daughter's disease or something like that. And I don't care about Mike eating a hot dog, the fat oaf. If you want to know about the lore of a 4-hour game, be my guest. But I would rather skate. Though some of these messages are really funny. You know what else is funny? The physics are pretty comical. You can fall, slide, and disappear. These are triggered when you fail miserably at jumps. Once you get really good, you can do things like this, where I kept the combo going the entire time while doing some simple tricks and getting over 260,000 score. Of course, this doesn't amount to anything. There is no reason other than difficulty to do any of these tricks, and when starting out, doing some tricks will always mess you up. Scratch that. Even doing the end of the game, you might need to just do some simple jumps to get past a level, as it gets insane. And there is no reason not to do this. There is no reason to trick. There is no reason to try. You might as well just beat each level and come back later. And even when getting tons of points, if you make a mistake and respawn, all those points are gone. If you try to continue your score and fail, then all of that is gone. There are some goals where you need to beat. There are exactly 3 levels that utilize that, and they all suck. You just need to do a stupid jump on a wall or a staircase or hold buttons, and it all feels very restricting. And I thought this would be a constant throughout the game, but I guess I was just completely wrong, since this is never used again. And all of this could just be fixed by simply adding a score check at the end of each area, just to make sure you can do the things the game has taught you, and so that the tricks mean something. This could be a single score check on a level, having the goal beach reach this amount. And it's different for each land, so you can only use things that you learn from there. Or it could be an overall score check for each land, so you need to play the levels a few times to accumulate the most score. This would make sure the player is playing the levels and actually trying to get a good score. Otherwise, I just don't care. Where the game gets really good is when you start going fast, like real fast. You need to use precise timing to complete the level, and you feel badass. And with the music, it really feels good. But just when the game gets good, you start feeling like you want to play more. The game will throw a level where you can just go too fast. What the gnar? You make me speed up, do tricks, feel the music just to screw me in the backside with a stupid gap? Why? Why do this? I was having fun, goddammit! Oh, and even when you're having fun with this game and beating the levels with the insane music, you'll come across the terrible fact of having no headphones in. If you were a no headphones user and you start skating, this will happen. That is not something I want to hear. I don't care about these skate noises from my controller when I could just hear them through the game. I can't believe a problem I had on the Wii is here on the PS5 title. This is so stupid. This is so whack. This is so ungnarly. This is so... I need a music break. After enduring all of this, you head to the end of the game. After each area, you meet a god, and once all the gods are met, you ascend into the heavens, becoming the new skate god. And that's the end of the game. You are now able to play what you want. You can play online, complete endless tracks that just kinda suck, and complete god challenges. Are these fun? No, and I didn't do any of it. Once I experience something, I don't need to experience it again, so I have no use of these scores and leaderboards. After all that, after the terrible noises, the pointless progression, and the annoying controls for the beginners, I had an alright time with the game. I had moderate fun skating, the designs of the characters are really good, and the music is so fresh. But I'm not like other reviewers. I have an insane bias. I give OlliOlli World a 78 out of 100 for a console game that kind of feels like a mobile game. What's the difference between Tony Hawk and Stephen Hawking? Dude, what is this joke? Oh my god.